Every Sunday we recite a affirmation, and we have an affirmation that we write for every month. And this is a way that we speak life into life, a way that we co-create and play. We play with life. When we realize that it is about the choices we make, but we can do them in an excited, wow, 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 a manner, a joyful manner, a co-creating with the universe in a playful way, and releasing all this human stuff, and going into the truth of our divine inheritance, that we have everything that we need. We are supplied by the infinite. Why don't we know that every moment, every second of every day? Because when we live from that certainty and from that truth, it becomes this co-creative, playful dance. So we speak life into life all the time. We have that opportunity to change our experience by changing our thoughts and using the power of our words. So we're going to recite the June affirmation together. Are you ready? Let's say it loud and proud. Say it like you mean it. All right, Paige. That's my girl.
That's holy.
Yes. Are you ready? Today I let go of fear, judgment, opinions, and all indecision. Holy, 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 I let go. In this space of infinite and eternal life, I know that all is well. The universe is conspiring for my good. Within all situations and circumstances, it is in spirit, God, universe, that I trust. And so it is. And so it is. So this month, our theme is about experience. And we have based our theme this month on a book written by Brené Brown, and it's called The 25 Gifts of Imperfection. If anyone would like to receive their own copy of that, if you go to our Facebook group page and our meetup page, there is a section in those groups where you can download that PDF. It's about 100 pages. It's not, oh, it's 20 pages. Okay, I was gonna say it's small. For me, 100 pages is small. So yeah, you can download that for yourself, but we have the opportunity to let go of who we think we're supposed to be and truly embrace who we are, knowing that we are loved, adored, embraced, and nurtured in every moment, that is the truth of life. Now, whether our mind is getting that picture or not, that may be a different story, but we get to play with this and say, well, how am I, and check in with all these things. How am I feeling about this? And embrace the truth of who we are, that we are divine children of the Most High, that we are fully equipped. Fully equipped means fully equipped. I mean, just think about the enormity of that for a moment, fully equipped. So as we go into this message, we have one more song that we're going to sing, and this is more of like a meditation because we're allowing, just by being here today, we are aligning and allowing with the truth, and we're receiving it. Something within each one of us said, yes, I am going today. I'm going to live my life in a different way. I'm going to let go of all of these things that are not serving me before I walk through that door. Because when we come into this community together, they don't mix. The truth is the truth is the truth. And the truth does not have to be bought or sold. It is. It is. And it will invigorate every little molecule in your body. So we are going to sit in this quiet space of this song and breathe and allow and know that as we are doing this, we are allowing, we are believing, and we are receiving it. We are receiving it. So I ask that you get comfortable and just enjoy this song as I Allow by Terry Wilder. Let's sing the next couple verses together. Let that energy flow through you. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now. Receive, accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now. So join me in prayer as we just invoke and sit in this beautiful moment of knowing that this infinite thing called God, this universal intelligence, this wisdom, this peace, this prosperity, this divine right action in harmony, in plentiful source of absolutely everything is right here, right now, and that we each are one with it. Knowing that there is no place that God is not. I recognize the fullness of God within this every word in this message, aligning the truth, as we align with this truth, we are this truth. We are the very emulation of God, made in its image and likeness, and there is nothing that we cannot do, be, or have. So we are grateful for this, this beauty, this absolute beauty that flows through this message, through this day, through this community, and through each of our lives. And together we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Cheryl, would you mind coming up here and reading today's reading? We didn't get to plan for that, but thank you.
You set me up. You set me up. I'm sorry. Holy art thou for sure.
There we go. Are you good? Can you read that? That's it. That's where it ends.
Where's the period? Okay.
Blessed be, blessed be.
Blessed be, yes. Okay. Today's reading is God's thoughts make worlds and peoples them with living things. So our thought makes our world and peoples it with our experiences. By the activity of our thought, things come into our life, and we are limited only because we have not known the truth. We have thought that outside things controlled us, when all the time we have had that within, which could have changed everything and given us freedom from bondage.
Amen. Thank you.
That was funny.
One of those priceless, one of those priceless moments. One of those priceless moments. So today we're
Premising your talk here.
yeah. Inflow and the outflow. Inflow and the outflow. So the important thing to know today that we are aligning with the truth that's what we come here to do. We come here to align with the truth. And that there's an inflow and outflow to life. That as we see out in nature, the inflow of the ocean tide that comes in and goes out. The inflow as the horizon sets from daytime to nighttime. That beautiful sky that's illuminated, the stars, the moon, they've always been there. But for some reason at night, they become illuminated. There's a natural flow and order to all of that. There's no switch that we have to turn it on and turn it off. It's always happening. So we get to, as we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, it's the same for us. Just as the natural flow of life, of the sun, the moon, the stars, the galaxy, and all these amazing planets that we have no knowledge of yet, all the other life forms that I'm sure are out there that we have no knowledge of yet, beyond human capacity to understand. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's beyond the human capacity to understand infinite? When we think about the infinite and the absolute substance that is infinite supply, which means when we talk about infinite, Paige, we talk about that it's never ending. Infinite means never ending. There's no beginning, there's no ending. So when we talk about infinite, how come we don't get that? Our senses, we're humans, we have 5 senses. Sight, touch, emotion, and whatever the rest of them are. But I mean, let's just walk on this little journey here. We're sensory, but our senses, our human senses say, show me, prove it to me. I want to see it. I'll believe it when I see it. That's the human idea. How many years did we go where humans thought the world was flat? And it was, show me. Because until you can really gather the enormity of that and what that looks like, to know that you're gonna, the world's not flat, that it's round, until you experience, we're talking about experience. But our senses want to tell us, So when we see our life, we're seeing with our senses. So we close our eyes to our human senses and we open with our divine intuition, our wisdom. We are living in a world of infinite invisibility. That's the way God, spirit, God, the universe, spiritual law, it's invisible. We are working with an invisible presence. So I feel like in this life of prosperity, in this life of abundance, in the inflow, in the outflow, what choice do we have but to completely let go and let God? Right? We're dealing with the invisible. We don't have a choice but to let go and let God. And when we talk about the inflow and the outflow, this is a very interesting thing, is that prosperity is not about getting. It's about letting. We live in a culture that says, gimme, gimme, gimme. We live in a culture that says, what's in it for me? That's the world we live in. Now, whether or not we create that or we go along with that in our hearts, we have a choice about that. But when we look at the worldly conditions of life, the first thing is, I'll believe it when I see it. What's in it for me? Why should I care? We have this. So the first concept that I want to share with you is prosperity is not about getting, it's about letting. Prosperity is not a what's in it for me proposition. We know the truth that it is our Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. Really? The Creator, the Spirit, Father, Mother, God, whatever, universe, whatever it is, what you want to call it. It is its pleasure to give us the kingdom. Wow. Wow. True prosperity is the flowing of every area of our lives, relationships, and life experience about letting that infinite substance and supply, Mother, Father, God, universe, source, spirit, first cause, whatever it is that you want to call it, letting it flow. When we put, and I know this, when we put God first, everything else in our life works. I promise, I know it. I've lived it. I've done it both ways more than once. More than once. And I continue to learn, and I continue to grow, and I continue to evolve in my dance with that. As we all do. As we all do. But when we turn away from the world, the news, the economic conditions, and really say, you know what, there's a deep surrender that takes place as we move into this next evolutionary part of our lives, which is always moving and always happening. We have our own ideas, right? I have an idea of what I want it to look like. I have an idea of what color I want that new car to be. I have an idea of what I want that new car price to be. I have an idea of that I'm going to walk into that dealership and I'm just going to sign. I don't want to play around. I just want to sign my name and I'm gone. That's my idea about my new car. God has bigger ideas. Spirit has bigger ideas. So if I go to do that thing that I have envisioned from top to bottom, I've colored it purple, I've spray painted it blue, I've said the exact my design. I've put Spirit in a box. Because I've created my design and my will. I'm not listening to anything but my own wants, my own needs, and my desires. So in that moment, I've already put Spirit in a box and said, well, this is how I expect you to show up. How silly is that? Because it's our Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And the only way that can happen is we take it out of the box. We release the confines of our mind to say, I trust you, no matter how you're going to show up. That Spirit is the very breath of our body. Do I contradict that my next breath is not going to come? Do I contradict the fact that we are infinite, eternal beings? That after this life, there's more life, there's more life, there's more life. We're infinite. We never end. So we talk about it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And if you don't like the word Father, that's okay, because I'm not a real big fan myself. So you can replace that with whatever is comfortable for you. because we know that spirit, God, universe, source is genderless. There is no gender. So the shift in consciousness is about going from a getting to a giving. And it's a profound landmark on the spiritual path, on everyone's spiritual path. If we haven't experienced the shift, when we shift into what's in it for me to what can I give, it'll be a day you'll never forget in your life. And it will open every window, every door, every opportunity, every infinite possibility. We look at the culture on TV right now, which is just unbelievable, the show The Hoarders. That's a belief in lack and limitation, that they've got to hold on to everything they got and they can't let go. Well, they do that because they believe in lack and limitation, that they're separate. When you know the truth about your being and that you are here to freely open, give, receive, and let the inflow and the outflow have dominion in your life, generosity, happiness, miracles, wisdom, and opening like you've never experienced before. You know, this culture, as humans, we drink energy drinks, you know, to keep us going. Can you feel this energy right here, right now? I'm set for like the next 2 weeks. It's within. It's within. If something is depleting our energy, if something is depleting our experience in life, physically, mentally, spiritually, stop, drop, and pray. Stop, drop, and pray and affirm the truth to say right here, right now, I am not going to 7-Eleven to buy 5-hour power. Spirit, infuse me. I receive it. Give it to me now. But it's recognizing that, I mean, it's done. And the moment that you speak your word, it's done. It's already done. And it's not just about, you know, feeling that inflow and outflow right there in that moment. It's not confined to my energy. It's not confined to this moment. It's not confined to, it's abundant. It's absolute and everywhere. We call it forth with the power of our thought. It is ever ours. We are living in a world of bounty. Know that, believe it, live it. Immerse yourself in it, soak yourself in it. There is nothing. There is a divine orchestration going on within all of our lives, individually, collectively, and as a community. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? I had an amazing opportunity a year and a half ago. Four days after I spoke the first message in this very spot, I was laid off from my full-time job. And everybody, the response was, oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry for what? Sorry that I just let go of doing what my life was just moved to its next evolutionary phase. Did unemployment come into play? Of course it did. Did all this human stuff come into play? Of course it did. So what? That path was divinely orchestrated for my good. Now what are you going to do with it? Here we are. You could be writing a book, a song, spending time with your grandchildren, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's divinely, are we awakened to the impulse and the evolutionary inflow and outflow that always says yes? Sometimes we're met with gifts that are so immense and so huge that it takes our breath away. Ah, I've been waiting for that to happen all my life. Did it make me cry? Did I get scared? You better believe I did. That's part of it. Because there's an invisible right there when you hit that space, it's invisible. You have no idea where it's going to take you. You have no idea where it's going to take you. Do you remember riding on the roller coaster as a kid at the amusement park? I mean, yeah, there were tracks, but you'd not been on that roller coaster before, so you'd not experienced it. Put your hands up and receive the gift. It's the gift of life. Do I know where it's going to take me? I don't have a clue. Do I expect it to be good? You better believe I do. Am I scared to death? Yeah. I'm a human. I'm parts of me, I'm scared. But in the same respect, at the bottom of that, at the foundation of I'm excited, I've got a little bit of stress, maybe a little bit of anxiety, I can let go of that because at the foundation of it, I know that Spirit is in the middle of it, guiding and nurturing. When I go about my day, when my life, and it seems so silly, that mundane activity of being on the computer, that mundane activity of doing social media marketing, that mundane activity of everydayness. When I enter into that and I allow this energy, this truth, this wisdom, this feeling, this experience, this deep knowing of God to be with me every moment of the way on every little step, that activity of social media stuff is not mundane. It becomes beautiful. It becomes a beautiful spiritual walk in the internet of life, which is crazy to think. It's crazy to think that, but the messages where I ask, Spirit, bring it forth. Show me. Where's the substance of my talk? Bring it to me. Without fail, every time it shows up. It could be in a book, it could be on a TV show, it could be a song, lyrics in a song, it could be who knows. Live your life like that, you know, it's there. Open your spiritual heart. Beyond your five senses, open your heart to know that the next time maybe you're late for an appointment, there's a divine reason for it. The universe is conspiring to say, oh, no, let's go this way.
It does happen.
Yes, and it's trusting. But the inflow and outflow, and the reason why I think Spirit started that conversation like that is because that's the basic truth to be able to, because the inflow and outflow, when we talk about prosperity, we talk about love, we talk about all of this change and evolution in our lives. When we talk about the inflow and outflow of giving and receiving, sometimes we can get choky with that. Sometimes we can get some stingy with that. Sometimes we can look at, we may be looking at a friend that we had an argument with 20 years ago, and guess what? We're still pissed off. Give me a break. Our energy, all of it, every molecule is to be right here, right now. There is no past. There is no future. It's only right here, right now. And if we are not forgiving another, we're really not forgiving ourselves. It's not about another. And we're cheating ourselves out of that. That's our 5-hour power. That's our extra energy. Our cells and molecules are being used for something that they don't need to be used up for. If I'm going to, whatever I'm going to do, whatever we do, it doesn't matter what it is, a movie, a relationship, a dinner, a book, a movie, a song, whatever the creative expression of God is in that moment. To sit with someone in a practitioner session, and that's all there is. There's nothing else. My mind is not in the future, it's not in the past, it's right there, all of me right there in that moment. We're not concerned with, oh my gosh, 2:00, in the moment. You feel and experience the beauty in the embracing, all-encompassing love of God, being fully present in every moment. That is the inflow and outflow. Imagine for yourself for a moment, what it might feel like to bring all of you, every cell, every molecule, every life, every moment, to right here, right now, and feel that enormity of God. How much are we really being present for? How much are we allowing to flow through? Breathe that in. Breathe that in. That wow and that wow and that wow. It's right here within us. As a chaplain over the last year, I have witnessed many, many stories of every room that I walk into, that any chaplain ever walks into, there's a story. There's a story about the patient in the bed. There's a story about their family. There's a story about why they're sick. And when you go into those rooms and you talk to those people and you find out that you get to listen to their story sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, of not enoughness. I don't have enough money. I don't have a car. I don't have family who's supporting me. I don't know what's going to happen. And then their family comes in and you meet their family. And guess what you hear? Every member of that family is living that same story. You want to know why? It's the only one they know. It's the only one they know. We have been given such a gift today to be together because we know the truth. We know the full bounty and goodness of God. We know the enormity and the grace that is within every little morsel of life. Are we tasting it fully? Are we believing in it without doubt? Turning within and tuning into the truth that is the very breath that is always there and will always be there. In this lifetime, another lifetime, who knows? You know, another planet. I mean, who's to say what in the world, wherever we're all going to end up one day? It is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. Are we fully immersed in that truth? Are we fully reciprocating in life, generously giving and showing up? The thing about the inflow and the outflow of life, we have to participate. And I tell you, I love to read books. I'm a junkie. I love to read books. I love to take classes. You all know that about me. So do I feel, yes, I'm fully participating. But the experience of it doesn't kick in until we come into community together. The experience doesn't fully kick in until I speak my vulnerability and I say, Will, I'm scared today. I don't know how this message is going to turn out, but I know the bounty of God and good is within it. We meet each other heart to heart and soul to soul in the space of truth. This is a quote from Science of Mind magazine, or Science of Mind Bible, let's say. This is from page 295. Oh, you read it already. I'm going to read it again. As God's thoughts make worlds and peoples them with living things, so our thought makes world and peoples it with our experience. By the activity of our thought, things come into our life, and we are only limited because we have not known the truth. Just like the people in the hospital. They didn't know the truth. You have been given the key that unlocks everything. And if you're in a place of self-discovery and you want to learn more about how do I do this, how do I use it, tell me more. Sign up for classes. I just invite you to sign up for classes. We are getting ready to release our fall classes. They're not listed yet. That's what we're here to do. This thing called life, we get to learn and experience this bounty. And as the leader and director of this community, if this bounty is not manifesting and demonstrating in your life, I'm going to call you on it. I will. Because I would expect for you to do the same to me. I have been so loved by so many community members when I've had an idea and a thought where I'm stuck in lack limitation, and they've reminded me the truth of who I am. So if I do that for you, I expect you to do it for me. I do. I want it. I want to know when I need to be opened, when there's something more that I'm not getting. We all have blind spots. We do. We all have blind spots. That's what love does. That's what love does. It says, I see that for you. I know that for you. I declare that for you. Do we get to know the how and why? No. And that's a fun part. We're dealing with the invisible source of all. We do not get to know the how and why, and we surely don't get to know when in the world it's going to happen. Patience, patience, patience. Patience, patience, patience. But the gift is in the shift to see with our divine eyes, to see with our divine heart, not our senses of what the world is telling us and what the world is showing us. That's not where we want to look. We want to look and source everything from the truth, from the source of God, that infinite, plentiful, abundant love. Love means everything. Love means everything. It's not just love. It's prosperity, it's happiness, it's joy, it's health, it's wholeness. It's everything wrapped into one. All of that is love. There is a world that our eyes cannot see. There is a world that our eyes cannot see, but our heart knows the truth.
That's the 99% spirit. The 1% is the mystery.
So recognizing you can declare when, and this is the amazing thing, and this is the kicker, and then I'm going to close the message for the day. I'm not looking at the time, and it's not telling me the time anyway, but when you open to the truth, and you are steadfast in the faith of knowing that you can give and receive generously, the inflow and the outflow, that everything, relationships, the love that you emit back and forth, the finances that you emit in and out, all of it, all of that infinite energy, when you let go and let God have dominion, knowing that your source can never be depleted, then you start doing things in a different fashion. In everything within your life, when you steep yourself in that truth, everything within your life that is not like that, it changes. It immediately changes its DNA, it changes its molecules, it changes its structure, it changes everything just because you said yes. I know that, Spirit. I know that my life is plentiful. I know that I am divinely, abundantly employed by the company of heaven. I live this. I know this. Everything in my being has just been restructured the minute I've given that power, the minute I've let that truth have dominion over my life. Everything within your life does the same. The minute we steep ourselves grounded in the truth and the wholeness of God. I listened to a message by Michael Beckwith the other day, and it says, frequent your high frequency. I love that. Frequent your high frequency. What are we creating from? Are we creating from fertile soil? Or are we creating from soil that goes, Oh shit, I don't know about that. Oh no, I don't know what to do. Or, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to look like. Should I? Shouldn't I? Could I? Couldn't I? That silly thing that we do. And that's okay. Those moments are perfect. They're still part of our evolution because we're aware, we're speaking to it. Speak to it. And when we ask, Spirit, make it clear. Clear me up here. Am I going for 5 days or am I going for 7 days? Am I done right now with what I'm writing or am I going to take a break? Come on, move me. You move me. That's how we got here in the first place. Letting go and letting God. Letting go and letting God. Letting go and letting God be the inflow and the outflow. And just really, okay. It's that easy. I trust. I trust. I trust. So I'm so grateful to know that this inflow and outflow is more than we ever thought possible. More than we ever dreamed. That it's life upon life upon life upon juicy good and happiness and wild abandon saying, yes, yes. Am I doing the same Monday through Friday dance? Yes. But I am embracing it in the fullness of every molecule of my being. I am here to live and be free, to live in this joy. Am I having coffee at my same Monday spot? Yep. But I'm shaking my coffee cup this morning because I'm energized. I know the truth of my being, that I'm free to experience. There's no one that can hurt me. There's nothing that can limit me. There's nothing that can hinder my expression of God moving through my being. There's nothing that can take that away. We are invigorated by the divine spark within, and the more we light that flame, the more that we concentrate on the indwelling knower that knows everything, then we know what to do, how to do it, how to act with childlike expectancy, knowing that the Father says yes, knowing that the divine expression, the source, the absolute oneness, the first cause of all life only says yes. So that inflow and outflow that we might have saw in scarcity is now went from a little ripply drip to a flowing river by changing our thoughts and changing our mind at what we thought possible. That's how Spirit makes it bigger. And I can say that one thing that I'd like for you to know for this next week and to concentrate on, if you have a thought that doesn't invigorate every little part of your being and bring you joy, it's not God. It's not Spirit. Probably is a worldly thing. It will light you up where you cannot sit down. Right? It's simple. So how, we move and have our beingness in this infinite wonder. Is it invisible? Yes, it is. Thank God, because I don't want to know. I don't want to know the amazing team of divine angels who are in this room right now, because it would so take my breath away. But I know they're here. I know they're here. They don't need a name. Our hearts are connected. We're unified in this infinite presence. And they are holding our hands with us every moment, every step of the way. And what do they say? They say, yes. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go.